past, people said that think in local, act in global. Our policy is quite different. Now the world has changed, and we consider that it's important to think in global but act in local. All of these subsidiaries has been directed by local people and always having in mind the local needs of the customer. If I have to define our culture and our policy in 3 words, I will use efficiency, flexibility, and innovation. Efficiency means that the market is growing and changing too fast, and we need to be even faster than the market. So speed is a key factor for us. Flexibility means that we cannot try to make everything for one market because every market is different, so we try to adapt that speed to different likes and different needs of each market. And that's why we have to go in the same policy as trial and error, and then in each market the policy will be different according with the needs and of course the likes of the market. And finally, innovation. This market is full of products. We have to follow different procedures that it makes of BH a different compared with the rest of competitors. That could be the core of the BH culture. A big difference between BH Fitness and BH High Power. For BH Fitness, all the projects are OEM, and for BH High Power, we have shareholders in Asia that we collaborate with them, and then they are not pure OEM projects. For us, the Chinese market is and will be our priority. We have a very clear strategy that in BH Fitness home market, our idea of health, beauty and fitness is the global idea that we are going to develop in all China, starting in the big cities like Shanghai or Beijing and then spreading out in the rest of China. For BH High Power, we are going to go step by step, working with the top dealers and then step by step entering in all the channels in China. BH will incorporate all these technologies that Apple is offering, like the iPhone, iPad, and we want to incorporate them in the fitness world. We are going to make projects where the iPhone or the iPad will be the core of the essence of the fitness. We are focusing on three things. First, new commercial concepts, like for example the new line of variable stride ellipticals. They are completely new in this world. Second, new technologies like tactile screens, like internet, etc. All of them incorporated in the fitness world. And also what we call the green power. Green technologies that they reduce the impact of the fitness machines in the environment.